Yeah.
Mm,
Hello, hello. Welcome to Gaming and Drinking, your
welcome.
source for everything gaming and or drinking. My name is Travis
All of it.
Casey.
You won't miss a thing.
This is Adam Gogan, and we are going to guide you through some beers and some video games tonight.
Hello, Internet.
This is probably going to be a short one, which I know that all of our friends and fans who have been saying we've recorded too long, you're going to be happy about. So
Yeah, we say every week it's going to be a short one, and then it never is. But
yeah,
this one, I think we're going to do it.
we've had a lot of real life stuff going on, and we've been very busy. So
Yeah.
it's we haven't been playing a whole lot of games. I know I haven't. I don't think Adam has either. So
been playing some stiff, but not a whole lot.
A little
of
bit,
stiff.
yeah. Not the usual. And there's also not been a lot of news. I mean, we're in the post E3, doldrums,
Mm-hmm.
I guess, for lack of a better word, because a lot of news comes out around E3, and this summer in particular has been weird because they've been doing like a bunch of different things. Like they've had the
Summer Games Fest.
Summer games,
everything.
and
Everybody's doing their own thing.
all the other stuff. So we've been getting a steady trickle of news all summer, I feel like, and now it's kind of dried up. The only things worth talking about are not great ones. The Activision Blizzard lawsuit and stuff like that. Some of the industry reckoning that's going on. So we'll get into that a little bit later. Not a whole lot to say about that because we're not really close enough to the industry to be able to really comment on that stuff, but we know a little bit about what's going on. So we'll go through that in a little bit. But first, what are you drinking?
So, I started this week with the same brand that I was actually drinking on the last podcast, which is Westbrook. This one, however, is not a Berliner Weiss. It is the Key Lime Pie Goza. Westbrook does a lot of Gozas, a lot of sours. I really like them. I was talking to Travis about this earlier. I know he said he's not a huge fan. But their regular Goza, the Westbrook Goza, is actually like super salty, and I like that a lot. When if I'm sitting on the beach, a Westbrook Goza is one of my favorite things to have. And this one is the key lime pie Goza, and so I figured it would be delicious because I like the other one. So let's and it's got like a nice, real pretty hue. So let's give this a little tasty taste.
For the record, I like Westbrook. I don't really like their core line very much, and this is one of their cores.
That's good. I like it.
It's very salty and very limey.
Both of those things.
If you like that kind of stuff, you would probably like it. I'm not a huge fan of that one.
It's like if you took a beer and just put a ton of lime in it. Yeah. A ton of lime. Like that is a lot of lime.
I like their sours that are like their one-offs and stuff like that.
Dude, you that's the one thing I like about Westbrook is like they've got that super tart sourness and it like gets you in the jaw.
Yeah, like when you eat too many Sour Patch Kids.
Love it.
All right, and this is going to be weird for a lot of people. This is the Southern Tier Pumpkin, and if you're saying to yourself, why are you drinking a pumpkin beer in July, or I guess it's August now? That's because they have started releasing these things at the end of July as opposed to October or September when they're supposed to be doing it.
It's because they know basic bitches like Travis will go and
listen, it's over 100.
I'm just kidding. I love it.
It's over 100 degrees out in South Carolina, and I was still craving one of these things. I love the Martsons and the Oktoberfests and the pumpkin beers. I love all of it. It's my favorite time to be drinking beer. Followed closely by the Christmas beers. I love both of those seasons of beer.
Oh yeah.
So I was ready for it. I'll be drinking them until December probably because I just really like the style of beer, and it reminds me of fall, and I'm kind of ready for fall because this summer has been ridiculously hot.
It's brutal. Hey, what store are you going to that they had that crazy like fall setup at?
So that was Total Wine, which is one of my stores that I do. That setup is ridiculous. It's Southern Tier, had like three things there: the Pumpkin, the Harvest Ale, and Harvest IPA, and the Warlock, which is their pumpkin stout. Which is I have one of those in the fridge. I'm not going to drink that tonight.
Ooh, that sounds delicious. Actually,
it's really good.
Is it one that you can like cellar, or is it like?
Yeah. You could definitely.
You should save that. You should save that for like way.
I might buy another one and save it for later, like around Christmas time. But I'm gonna try this one. So pumpkin, I have a weird relationship with it because when I first tried it back, years ago when craft beer first started getting big in this area, I really loved it. Like, it was really good. It was one of the first pumpkin beers I ever had. And I have kind of not liked the last couple of releases they've had. I think they've gone in the sweeter direction as opposed to more of the Martzen style. And I have not enjoyed it as much, but we'll see what this year's is like.
You know what my favorite Martzen is?
Oh, that's fucking good. I do like that. That's good.
You know what my favorite Martzen is?
What's your favorite Martzen, Adam?
James Martzen.
Oh, God. Oh, I got one for you. All right.
Oh, Travis is on the dad joke train now.
Why did the Irishman only put 239 beans in his soup? And you got to say this in an Irish accent, and I'm gonna butcher the fuck out of it. But why did the Irishman?
Laughing because I can't wait to hear you with an Irish accent.
Why did the Irishman only put 239 beans in his soup?
Why?
Because one more would have been too far.
Oh, I hate you. God. Okay, I'll take it. That was good.
That's pretty good.
That was not bad.
I mean, at least
it's no James Martzen, but
it's no potato. Maybe the worst joke in the history of bad jokes.
Nope. Kyle told me one the other day.
Oh no, I'm scared to ask.
It's so bad. All right, so why did the chicken cross the road?
I don't know why.
To get to your house.
Why
Knock, knock.
Oh, I've heard this one. Who's there?
The chicken. It's so bad.
Oh,
all right.
God.
We're done. No more dad jokes.
Ever? On the pod, ever?
I can't resist. I won't.
I know. I was about to say, you know that's a promise you probably can't keep.
Oh man. Anyways, yeah, so we have been doing quite a bit of drinking though. We might not have been doing much gaming, but
yeah, we went out on Saturday night.
Good loady woady.
Yeah, it was a long night. You were out there all day. Like, you were out at the beginning
so
of the day.
I went and played the best round of golf I've ever had in my life, which isn't saying much, but it was awesome. It was a great time, but it was in that South Carolina heat, which our tee time was 11:15. By the time we were done, the heat index was 107. And I am a sweaty boy. So
he is not lying. He is the sweatiest boy I've ever met.
So by the end of it, I'm wearing a Hawaiian shirt that just was like stuck to my body and just dripping.
He looked like he had jumped in the pool and in his Hawaiian shirt and then gotten out and started playing golf.
Which I did afterwards, not in the shirt, but I did go swimming afterwards, and I kept drinking there too. And then we went out to the bars after that night, and we kept drinking there as well. And then yesterday, I wanted to die.
Sunday was a rough day.
Yeah, but
did you have any good beers while you were out? Did you remember?
Yeah.
You drank the one at Black Rooster.
Black
what was
Rooster. Nope, can't remember. But it was good.
Oh, it was the Dogfish Head sequential.
Yes, I did like that.
That's pretty good. That's another one of those saltier type goses and sours. And I had a bunch of cocktails, so it doesn't really apply to this podcast. But
I ate my first flower.
Oh yeah, we got Adam to eat a flower because he was like terrified to do it for some reason.
No, I just thought it was weird.
Even though it's not any different than eating like a vegetable leaf or something like that.
It is it's too pretty, bro.
You didn't want to destroy nature? Is that what it was?
The beauty.
It was a very pretty flower that you ate too.
It was like a pink orchid looking thing.
Yeah.
I thought they were just garnished and you throw them away, but apparently you can eat them. And I ate it, and it wasn't terrible.
It tastes good. I like them.
Yeah. Yeah, that was out of your cocktail as well.
Yeah. I had 2 flowery cocktails, which if you follow me on Instagram, you definitely saw because I posted both of them. But
at Infinite End.
At Infinite End, yep. And I'm not a big cocktail person, mostly because I don't know shit about it. Like, I couldn't tell you, the difference between this or that. And I know what I like. Like, I know I like mezcal and I like, those kind of drinks. I like a peaty thing. I like peaty scotch and stuff like that. but I'm much more versed in beer. So whenever I go a place where I know the bartender, I just let them I'm like, you know what I like, just make me something that I like.
Yeah, and your friend Jess was bartending, and she made me. I was like, I really like an old fashioned.
Mm-hmm.
And she actually made me like this crazy old fashioned drink, but instead of bourbon, it was using mezcal and another kind of tequila, and it was
really
delicious.
good.
It was really good.
Yeah, that was a really unique flavor that I'd never had before.
Mm-hmm.
And so then we left there and went to Sakatumi, which is where Adam's brother works, and had a couple of drinks there. I don't remember.
I played a pretty good prank on our buddy Rich while we were there.
Oh yeah, that was funny. Put a bunch of stickers on his back.
So Sakatumi, it's a sushi place, and their slogan is "I love it raw."
Mm-hmm.
And they have these bumper stickers that say "I love it raw" on them. Yep. I took about 15 of them and secretly placed them all over my buddy Rich, who is the sushi manager there. Placed them all over his back. The owner Dave wasn't happy with me.
No, he said that's coming out of the marketing budget.
He's like, I pay for those, man. I was like, how much do you pay? He's like, about 52 cents each. I was like, I'll give you 75 cents for each sticker that I put on it. He's like, that's not the point, Adam. Yep. Oh gosh,
it was pretty good.
And then Parker ruined it because he tried to do it and made him notice.
Yeah, he fell into him and slapped it on his back in a very, very noticeable way.
Yeah, you got to be subtle, man. Subtlety is key. But then, when Rich realized he had him all over his back, he's like, is that why you've been touching me so much, man? I was like, yes, I wasn't just touching you just to touch you.
Just for funsies.
He didn't say anything about it, though, so maybe he liked it. Well, Rich.
The whole time. So anyway, that was our weekend. Mm-hmm. What have you been playing in amongst all this partying and drinking that we've been doing?
I downloaded a new game this weekend. By new, I mean it's pretty old, but it's new to me. Mm-hmm. My friend Pedro. Mm-hmm. Blood, bullets, and bananas, I think, is the tagline.
Mm-hmm. That's a Devolver game, right?
Yeah, and I love me some Devolver. Mm-hmm. And it's fun. The controls are a little wonky.
Intentionally wonky?
No, it's just there's a lot going on. And so they're trying to you have to hold it with middle fingers on the triggers, pointers on the buttons, because you will literally have to be pressing 2 or 3 of those at the same time.
Oh, I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
I mean, some people play Call of Duty and Apex that way, which I think
I can't. I don't have enough hand-eye coordination. I'm just
not
honest.
used to it. I've been playing this way for 30
my entire
years,
life.
So it's hard for me to switch to something else. Oh,
yeah.
Professional calls.
Hold on, it's Parker. Let's see what he has to say.
Oh no,
Parker, you're live on the Gaming and Drinking Podcast. I'm podcasting. Say hey to Travis.
I think you lost him.
Yep.
It sounded like he was out somewhere.
Oh yeah.
On a Monday night.
Yep. Sounds about right. He just moved to Columbia today, so
yeah.
He's out tonight.
Oh boy. Oh yeah, because all the kids are starting to go back. Parker's 22, so all of the
and that is premium content.
Mm-hmm. That's what y'all pay the big bucks for here.
Finger guns.
Yeah, if you're an audio listener, Adam just finger gunned the shit out of this podcast.
Oh yeah.
So my friend Pedro, it's got a bullet time mechanic, right? I remember that from
it's a super the idea behind it is super cool. The story is whatever. You're running through buildings and towns trying to assassinate and not be assassinated and kill mafia bosses and stuff. It's a super just boilerplate story.
Are you a banana?
You're not a banana. I think you might be crazy and you've got a hallucination that's like a banana who's your friend.
Oh, okay. So there is a banana there is
an friend Pedro.
Anthropomorphic banana in there, but you don't play as the banana.
No, he is the guy that's you're kind of a voiceless protagonist, and
he's talking shit to you the whole time.
Yeah,
gotcha.
And there's a button, I believe it's on triangle, that takes you into bullet time, and you can stay in bullet time for a long time, as long as you're shooting people in bullet time, it fills the
It's
bullet
like
time
refilling
bar.
the bar.
Yeah. And so if you've got a good like run and you got a good flow going, you can keep that bullet time going and rack up a huge combo.
That's awesome.
Like I said, do not have that kind of coordination. And so I run out of bullet time sometimes and don't really get that many crazy combos because like you have to hit the left trigger. So like you'll be running dual weapons. So you have like two pistols and your aim, you're running with with the left thumbstick and you're aiming with the right thumbstick. And if you say you're aiming to the right and then you press the left trigger, one of your guns will stay aiming to where you were before you press the left trigger. And then your right thumbstick starts controlling the other arm. So like you're shooting.
So it's possible to shoot two different targets at once.
Yeah, you can straight up like shoot like arms out like this, but
it doesn't sound very intuitive.
It's not. That first where you're pointing the gun, especially because you're like doing all this crazy parkour and flips and stuff, having the gun just stay static while you're trying to aim the other gun isn't really great.
Because it's like a 2D game, right? Or not? It's
yeah,
on a 2D plane.
It's a 2D side-scrolling runner, basically, because you're trying to go fast and you're trying to just dodge and get through the level as quickly as can and kill as many people on the way.
So you would be playing it almost like a twin stick shooter, except that one of the
yeah,
sticks...
and that's what I was expecting was more of like a straight up like twin stick shooter, like when you press the right thumbstick a direction, it just automatically shoots.
Yeah.
But no, you have to pull the trigger, and like a lot of the guns, most of the guns are semi-automatic, and so like you're having to keep tapping that right trigger over and over. And then like I can't remember, the left and right bumpers also do something. I can't remember what. But it's just a lot going on all those buttons. And then you got to also be thinking about the bullet time mechanic. So you're thinking about pressing triangle and like you're just there. You have to press all these buttons and like think about all of them all the time. And that's just a lot for me. But
did you play the original Assassin's Creed? Do you remember how
yes.
it had like basically like the triggers were your left and right arm, and then like the two other buttons were like your legs? Like basically every limb was on a button.
I don't remember that, but that sounds ridiculous.
Because you were like you would like climb by like holding down both the triggers at the same time. Like it was a novel idea that did not feel good at all in practice, and that's why in the second one they changed all the controls to what we think of more so what it is now.
I would like to see what they do with a sequel to this game, because I think that they could take a lot of these ideas and like make them into something a lot smoother.
You think it would be better as a 3D action game as opposed to like a 2D runner?
I think if you go 3D action, you're looking like it's looking very Mirror's Edgy just with a gun.
Well, I was thinking more like, Risk of Rain 2, how they have like that it's kind of like polygonal, almost PlayStation style graphics, still kind of minimalist, which I think this game would benefit from, but like maybe behind the back camera. I don't know. I just
the parkour in it is crazy. Oh, that was what the buttons are. So L1 is like a dodge spin, which if as you're dodge spinning, your aim gets all messed up, and so you can dodge spin, but then your aim gets messed up. And then triangle is actually kick. Square is your bullet time button, and then X is jump. Circle is something I can't remember, but
crouch or dive.
Maybe, but like you got all these, like you have to really also the whole time be thinking about dodging, because it's bullet hell. Like you've got guys all around you shooting at you the whole time. And so just thinking about all that chaos, like it's fun it's cool to watch. It's cool as shit to look at.
Yeah. The trailer's always looked cool, but then every time I heard someone talk about it, they talked about the controls being wonky.
Yeah, but it's fun. I'm enjoying it. I've probably played like 8 or 9 levels. I don't know how many there are, but there are a couple of like vehicle levels, like there's a motorcycle level that's really dope. Like if they had like a full game of just like this vehicle combat, like I'd be super down, because they simplify it a lot. There's no longer a dodge roll, and you can like jet across and back and forth across the screen and up and down, and then like you can jump on the motorcycle. You just hit X and like you do this huge jump in the air on the motorcycle, and then like if you hold left on the thumbstick, you'll do like a straight up backflip and like land on another car, bounce off it, and like go all over the place. And that's probably the most fun I've had in that game, is actually the vehicle levels.
So it sounds like when they take away some of the like more frustrating parts of the combat, it becomes more fun.
Yeah, For sure, 100%. But yeah, I've probably played, like I said, about 8 or 9 levels. I think I've beaten 2 bosses. I don't know how many more there are. But now I'm basically fighting an assassination syndicate that everyone basically has a target on my back. So I'm like running from all them. So it's cool.
That sounds dope.
Yeah, it is. There's dope parts, but it does get a little frustrating.
It seems like one of those games that maybe is a really good concept that they could iterate on, and it's
Yeah.
almost better. It's better in concept than execution, but that's one of those things they could improve with like another chance.
Mm-hmm. And then, so yeah, that's my friend Pedro. The other thing I've been playing, like obviously I've still been playing Mass Effect, still been playing BioShock, but I'm not really going to talk about those. And this is one that I actually do play a lot of, but I feel like I haven't really given it the time that I think it deserves. Is
The gaming and drinking do.
The gaming and drinking do. I think Rocket League deserves it, man, because
Yeah.
we've played a lot of that game over the years. Like
A lot
me,
of that game.
you, all our people that we play Apex with. We also play a lot of Rocket League together. And I've been on a serious Rocket League kick lately with my little brother because he's actually getting pretty good. He's getting pretty good at Rocket League. So me and him go in there and we bust some heads, break some balls.
Are you getting better at the flying part?
Yeah. That's when it gets real crazy. And Parker, I think, is just now getting to the, like, my matchmaking these days. Like I'm pretty good, I think. And so I matchmake with people who are better than me, but not by much.
Right.
But he's just now seeing like the stuff that like I go against all the time. And it's people like flying like 40 feet in the air and doing a backflip to like hit the ball in. And it's fun because I'm learning how to do that stuff. I can hit the ball really high in the air, and it's just a matter of aiming that shot that I'm now figuring out. But they're doing this limited time mode right now called Boom Ball. It's so ridiculous. It's basically you have constant boost. Well, you're not constantly boosting, but you have 100 full boost the entire time.
At all time, yeah.
You don't have to pick up any boost pads.
Yeah.
And so people are just flying all over the place. And
you can like stay in the air forever.
Yeah, and then also, the Rumble mode with all the power-ups?
Yeah.
So everyone has the fist power-up the whole time.
Oh,
and
God.
so like everyone that touches the ball just goes flying, and people are just blowing up everywhere. It's called Boom Ball, and
it sounds fun.
It's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun.
Is it 3-player, 4-player?
3 players on each team, 3v3. But that's the first time I've ever seen that one. They do a lot of fun LTMs.
I do like their limited time stuff.
But that's probably one of my favorite that I've seen so far. The last one they did was called like, I don't know, aimbot or something. I don't know. Basically, the ball is constantly going. Whoever hits the ball last, if the other team doesn't block it, it will automatically go in their goal. It like just curves straight. It's like basically just like
aimbot's
very hard.
Not too far off then.
Yeah, it's what it is. I don't know exactly what it was called, but it's basically an aimbot, and it is so hard. It is so hard. Like you just volley it back and forth, like from your goal. Everybody kind of just stays in their goal and hits it back and forth at each other.
That's great.
But this boom ball thing was a lot of fun, and then I've also just playing a lot of 2v2 with Parker as well. Nice. So that's kind of all. I've been playing Apex, been playing Mass Effect, but that's pretty much where I'm at. So let's see. Hey, since this is going to be a quick one, you want to take a quick break, grab another beer?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. We'll be right back with more Booze and Games. Oh, yeah. That really was. That's the first time I've actually ever opened it by the microphone. I usually like put it right in the camera. I'm like, hey, look at it. Oh.
Welcome back, everybody.
Hey, welcome back to Gaming and Drinking. Ooh, this is a pretty one, Travis.
I know that's one of my favorite things to drink.
Look at that. Yeah, so I didn't have this particular one the other day, but this is a Blake's Hard Cider, which I was talking mess to Travis about it.
And he tried one.
And then I tried it, and I was like, oh, my God.
It's as good as I said it was.
Yeah. You left like a 6-pack of it, I think, over here.
The strawberry lemonade, yep, at your house.
And I drank it all the next day. So this one is the Blake's Hard Cider, and it is the Triple Jam. I don't know if we featured this one on here before.
We haven't. That one is one of the best selling ones that we have, but I have not featured that on this podcast before.
It is the strawberry, blackberry, and raspberry cider, and it is 6.5%.
Yeah, most of their ciders are 6.5%, which is crazy because they do not taste like it.
No, they taste like candy, man.
They really do, but not like. I think when you say that, like people think they would be like overly sweet, but they're not overly sweet.
It just tastes like a really good, like almost like a non-alcoholic cider.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
That's good stuff.
That is real good stuff.
All right. I am drinking DuClaw, which we featured on here before. Their Sour Me series is great. I've had a bunch of these on here before. This is their Sour Me Mimosa.
Ooh.
And it is ale brewed with Chardonnay juice and orange juice. Now, I don't know what Chardonnay juice is, but I'm assuming it's a blend of Chardonnay and something else. But it is
Chardonnay
9.3%.
It's 9.3%. It's a mimosa.
What is Ham? Oh, that's Shadow.
You quit that. It's both of them.
No.
Shadow. Yeah. I'll quit that. I'm podcasting. I'm drinking again. Sorry.
This is an Imperial Sour. So 9.3. I have not had this before, so we'll see. The girl at Total Wine, I was like, I need something for my podcast. She was like, try this. And I was like, I sell that one. I should probably already have tried that. But
I am guessing that Chardonnay juice, yeah, it's got to be like Chardonnay and orange juice. Like that's.
Well, it says orange juice separately from Chardonnay juice. So I don't know what Chardonnay juice is.
Grape juice.
We'll see. It tastes like a mimosa.
Nice.
It does kind of taste like their other sours in their series, but it does not taste like 9.3% alcohol. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh boy, this is just what we need after me and Travis actually got really good exercise today. We went to the gym and then we went and did 5 miles at the river.
Yep.
Which
in the 93-degree heat when we got done, it's like 93 degrees.
I just wanted to go hop in the river the whole time.
Yeah,
we did see a really cool blue heron though.
Yes, on my Instagram at Infinite End. Check it out. That we did see a really cool blue heron and a bunch of turtles, which we see almost every single time we go to the river.
Yeah, there was one soft shell turtle out there that was just living his best life, man.
Yeah, he was sunbathing.
He had his neck all the way out. It was like, give me all of it.
Yeah, it was really cute.
It was. Much like us when we talk about turtles. So cute.
Twiddles. I like turtles.
I love turtles. I just got what you were saying over there.
Like that kid.
I like turtles.
I like turtles. I don't know why that's so funny. Like if you watch it and you just think about it, it's not really that funny. But for whatever reason, when you actually watch it, it's like super fucking funny.
Oh yeah. Have you ever seen the episode of It's Always Sunny whenever Dee is dating the guy and he puts on the makeup? And he's like an army vet, and he has on like the frog makeup, and they're all hanging out. He's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "I like turtles."
I've never seen that.
So good. Oh god, like 5 people will get that.
I don't know. I think Always Sunny is a pretty popular show.
It's pretty
more than that.
But anyways, that's enough memery. What you been playing, Travis?
So, as we all know, Xbox Game Pass is the greatest value in gaming right now. And with that, I have been playing The Ascent, which is a cyberpunk twin-stin Diablo looter shooter type thing. It is
Did you say Twinston?
Twin stick.
You said Twinston.
Roll the tape.
Roll it back.
We can solve this.
All right, so it's cyberpunk twin stick shooter RPG, right?
With loot. It is. And now the first thing you'll notice about this game when you boot it up is it looks amazing. Like it looks so good. And it was made by 12 people.
Really?
So yeah. It's such an impressive achievement technically. It runs great on my computer. I will say that it does have some slowdown, and I thought it might have been my PC, but I've been looking into some reviews and stuff, and that seems to be a common complaint. The slowdown really only happens when like a barrel explodes and there's like a big explosion on screen, or like a bunch of powers go off at the same time.
When you say slows down, do you mean the frame rate just
It
chugs a little bit?
stutters. Yeah, it stutters.
Does the
Like,
gameplay itself slow down too? Like
yeah,
kind of like in
everything slows
GoldenEye?
down.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very GoldenEye-esque when it slows down like that. But when it hitches, we're talking like 2 to 3 seconds. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, it goes right back afterwards, and it goes right back to 60 frames after that. So it's most what I love about it. It's also like a fixed camera thing, so you can't control the camera. It's Diablo-esque in that. And I don't remember if Diablo 3 did this, but like cinematic camera where it'll pull out sometimes and like show you like a widescreen view of like a big area. I feel like Diablo's was always kind of in the same spot.
Yeah, but it looks like from what I saw the Diablo 4 stuff, it looks like it's going to be doing some of that. But the Diablo 3 does not.
I love that stuff. This one in particular, like you'll go to like an area of like the cyberpunk dystopia, and it is very much dystopian. And it'll like pull out a little bit, and you'll see like all these machinery, like these cogs in the background doing a bunch of stuff, and it looks so impressive because the fidelity of it is like the textures are great. Like I'm like, how did 12 people make this game? But anyway, so it is very much an RPG. So you create a character at the beginning. You don't really create a class, but you do put skill points into stuff. There's like a skill tree, and there's like 3 different divisions on the skill tree, but they don't really, like, you click on it and it tells you what attribute it contributes to. So there's like 8 different attributes, and then like 3 different styles of inside of those attributes. And you have to like click on it to get it to tell you like what it contributes to. And it's not really clear at the beginning. There is a learning curve on this game, I will say. And the the UI is very busy. I don't mind it. I think it gives you a lot of information.
You mean the UI like during gameplay or like in the menus?
No, like in the menus.
Okay.
I should say the menus are very busy, I guess.
Yeah.
The UI is very clean. When you're playing the game, it gives you like, you kind of don't know what everything is at first when you have like an ammo counter at the bottom and like 2 different slots, and then you realize you can equip 2 different guns, and then there's like a circle that fills up over time, and that's actually your power that you get. I think all the powers are grenade based. Like I think they're called grenades.
Do those cause slowdown?
Sometimes, not as much as the barrels do, but the one that I have equipped now is like an explosive grenade. I think there's some that like slow down time, like ice. Like I think there's different elements to them.
Cool.
I've only gotten like 2 or 3 of those powers so far.
I will, dude. I love a good twin stick shooter.
So if you like twin stick shooters, like the gameplay. So the gameplay is very Diablo-esque, except that you're twin stick shooting the whole time instead of like going up to something and just hitting a button, or holding the mouse button down like you do in Diablo. It reminds me actually of like the mage in Diablo 3, where you get to like kind of aim your weapon and stuff. But this is like that.
Or the demon hunter.
Or the demon hunter, yeah. But the shooting feels really good, like really good.
Dude, I want to play this. I'm so like, when I bought my friend Pedro, I was really looking for a good twin stick shooting experience, and I thought this was going to be like an interesting, unique one. But I think the Ascent is actually more what I was looking to play than my friend Pedro. So is it on Xbox One?
Yeah.
And I wonder how it'll run on Xbox One, because I have my.
I'm sure it runs fine. Like it might not run at 60 frames, might be 30 frames, but it doesn't seem like it's it looks great, but I don't think it's under the hood. I don't think it's like pushing too many polygons or anything.
Can we play crossplay?
Yes. It is. I will say also it is a multiplayer game as well. And from the reviews I've read, people seem to really, really like the multiplayer when it works. So the biggest complaint I've read about this game is that the multiplayer crashes a lot, which is understandable given that it's a very small team making it, and they have Microsoft money behind it, so they will definitely fix it. But I haven't tested that out personally. I've not played online yet. I've just been playing single player. And I will say right now, it is one of the best games I've played this year. It is one of my favorite games I've played this year so far.
I wonder
so much fun.
I want to jump in and play multiplayer with you. I wonder if we should wait until they do a couple patches though.
I don't know if it's what I've mostly read is that it's like the 4-player, like 4 players at once. I think 2 is probably fine. And if I had to guess, 4 people being on screen at the same time doing all these explosions and stuff, is probably what makes it crash, judging by how it stutters when just one person is making an explosion. So I think that's probably what is happening, but I don't know for sure. Like I said, I haven't tested it out. I think 2 players is probably fine. I've only read the biggest complaints have been people talking about 4 players.
Gotcha.
And this is all based on Steam reviews. So I can't verify any of that because, sometimes people on Steam are full of shit. So
what? No,
that doesn't happen.
Nobody's ever review bombed anything on Steam.
Yeah, never. That doesn't happen. And you get to equip your armor. You can change the way you look. Like whenever you put new armor, and this is something that I think every loot game should do. This is why the Avengers made me so mad. When you equip armor, it reflects on your character in the game. I think that should always happen. I want my guns to appear new. I want my armor to appear new. You get helmets. You get all kinds of stuff, and you can change your appearance in the game at any time. Not at any time, but you have to go to like a doctor, and you can change your appearance and stuff.
That's cool.
It is the story is not like great, but the world building is really, really good. Really good.
Quick question about the customization stuff.
Uh-huh.
I know you said it's like a pretty pullback camera. Does can you really see the details in your customization?
So it
especially with it being such a dark world, I feel like it might kind of like obscure some of that stuff.
It is a dark world, but there's a ton of neon in it. The lighting is great. So and the camera only pulls back sometimes like that. Usually it's pretty close and you can see your character very well.
Okay.
You can see a lot of the detail on the armor and stuff. You can see like my dude has like a green hair that's like combed over
I'm getting Bebop and Rocksteady in my head.
Yeah, almost like the Rocksteady or the Bebop haircut, where the like long hair but like shaved on the sides.
Yeah,
and it's like green. Yeah, it's pretty dope. But then I put a helmet on him, and it's like a tactical visor that you can see like the running back and forth on the visor, like a little like a light going back and forth. Yeah, like RoboCop. And I've gotten like 2 new guns that feel different and powerful every time. And also it's one of those, so when you have your like basic pistol, you can hold down the right trigger for like a steady stream of bullets, or you can fire like as fast as you can, and it reflects that in the game. Like it'll fire as fast as you can pull the trigger, which I love when the games do that. It feels very visceral. It's got a lot of cool tactical things. And apparently what I read from the developers is that when you like, if you go behind cover and shoot out from cover a bunch, the enemies will adapt to that and it'll send out like more people who rush you. And if you're the type that like does the dodge roll, which is how I play like Dark Souls, where I'm constantly dodging, it'll put more guys behind cover that don't come at you as fast. So you have to like try to go like
you need to balance it.
Yeah, so that apparently it adapts to the way you play, which is I think very good.
That's impressive considering the size of that team.
Yeah,
they must have some really good programmers on that team.
It's an impressive achievement, all across the board. It's just a very impressive game, technically, gameplay wise. Like, it's just a very cool game that I think, and it being on Game Pass, it's probably going to get a lot more attention than it might have otherwise. So I think we're going to be hearing from this team again, and I bet we get a sequel to it sooner rather than later.
Did Xbox publish it?
I don't think so. Maybe they did. It's not on PS4 or PS5. I know that. So maybe they did.
I'm gonna look it up real quick.
They might have. They might have signed like a marketing deal or something like that. But it's on Steam, so I don't think so. I don't think
Swedish indie studio Neon Giant and published by Curve Digital. Okay,
Curve, that's right. So they probably signed like an exclusive, like a 1-year exclusivity or something like that.
Okay. On Google, it's got 4.3 out of 5 stars from the audience, if that means anything.
I think some people are maybe wanted something other than a twin stick shooter, I guess.
I mean, 8.6 out of 10 isn't terrible.
Yeah, I think it's,
especially considering the size of the team.
To me, it's a 9 and above game. But that I also love, like, my favorite aesthetic is this like cyberpunk dystopian type thing. And it nails that. Like, it nails the Blade Runner, dystopian future with like, it's one of those worlds where like everybody at the top is like, considered the elite, and then the further you go down, like the harder and harder life gets, and then you start out on the very bottom, and of course it's the Ascent.
Oh, dude, that sounds. Gosh, I've been playing so much Mass Effect. That sounds so Mass Effect.
It's very massive. Like the way that it looks, especially Mass Effect 2 with like the Neon City and stuff. It's very much one of those types of games, and if you like that aesthetic, which again my favorite, you will really dig the way this game looks, and it plays super well. It's not just it doesn't just look good, it plays really well too, and it's super fun. Like I love getting new loot and like watching my numbers go up and all the stuff you get, and there's a ton of side quests. Like it's a very well made one of these types of games, and if you're looking for this type of game, it hits all the right buttons.
Okay. I need to get out my Xbox One and try this out. I'm just hesitant to play any new games on my Xbox One because I have a launch Xbox One. And
it's probably fine. Like you're not talking like Red Dead Redemption 2 here or something like that. Like you're talking about a twin stick shooter that's a isometric view. Like I don't think this is going to be pushing your hardware too hard.
Okay. Well, then I think I should bust that out.
I mean, at least try. It's free to. I mean, you have Game Pass, so it's not like the barrier to entry is just you digging out your Xbox.
Yeah, and right now I'm paying for Game Pass, and I don't even have my Xbox hooked up.
Yeah, so you might as well just hook that bad boy right back up.
I played Carrion. The last game I played on Xbox Game Pass was Carrion.
I have also played that on there.
Good game.
It's very cool. It's very cool.
Yeah.
And so the other game that I've been playing was I struck back up. I started playing Yakuza Like a Dragon on stream. And before I dive too deep into that, I want to finish the last Yakuza game that I started, which was Yakuza 0. I played Yakuza Kiwami, which is like the remake of Yakuza 1, which I love. And Yakuza 0 is the prequel to that game and kind of shows how Kiryu and Majima like came into this world, how they started. And that game is amazing. It's great. It's just one of those games that's so long that I kind of got sidetracked and lost whatever. But I picked it back up, and I'm probably like 50 hours into that thing. And I've been playing a lot of it, and I think I'm getting towards the end now. And if you've never played a Yakuza game, 0 is a great place to start. It is super fun and super goofy, but then it's also like got these really serious, like poignant moments. It's one of those games where like the side stories are almost better than the regular story. You know, like anytime you run into someone on the streets, you're like, this person's going to give me this ridiculous story. Like
the reason you're doing things for people is just doesn't make any sense.
So like one side quest I did recently was when you're playing as Majima, he's like, he goes into like the bathroom at this park, and he sees like one of those like writing on the walls, like for a good time call. And so he starts like writing back to the person, and she starts writing back as well. And they go back and forth, and eventually it gets to a point where she's like, meet me at this thing, I'll be wearing a rose. And he goes to meet her. And of course he gets jumped by like 3 dudes who are like, you're so stupid, you fell for our trap, blah, blah, blah. And then he beats them up in a combat situation. And they walk away, and they're like, I can't believe that billboard thing didn't work. And he's like, billboard? And then you're like, and then the camera like pans out, and the girl with the rose is like standing on the thing. She's like, oh, I guess he's not coming. It's really good. That's
a good little stupid.
It was really, really fun. And there's all kind that game has so much personality and so much like going on in it. Like there's like a real estate mini game and like all kinds of different things going on that you can do if you choose to engage with that stuff. I'm there for the story and the goofy fun, so I don't ever engage with that stuff.
You're not there for the mahjong?
You can play lots of mahjong. You can play dice. You can play
poker. Tekken, can't you?
It's not Tekken. It's
Is it Virtua Fighter?
It's Virtua Fighter because this is a Sega game. You can play Daytona. You can play.
I do like original, like arcade Daytona.
Daytona USA, yeah. And you can play Afterburner.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and the Harrier Fighter. I can't remember the name of that.
Is that a shmup? That's a shmup,
right? The one I'm thinking of, whatever it's called, is it Afterburner? Where he's a rocket pack and he's like flying through the air and like that one you can play. I think Harrier or the other one there is like 1942. I think you can play that.
That's what I'm thinking of.
That's Capcom. That's not in there, but there is a shmup in there, but I can't remember what the name of it is. But yeah, you can go to the Sega arcade and play all of the.
That's so
Sega
cool
games.
And stupid.
It's great.
That makes me happy.
Those games are great.
Like I'm probably not gonna engage too much with Yakuza, but just because I don't have the dedication to put. I don't know, man. Like I bounce off of games. I play so many games like that. I'm just trying to like see what they're about and then move on. Like, I feel like Yakuza is one that you really need to, like, sink your teeth into and really, like, explore that city and see what all there is going on there to really get the full effect of it.
It is a game where if you take your time, you'll have more fun with it.
Yeah, and I have too many just little stupid games that I like to play.
I will say all the Yakuzas are on Xbox Game Pass now, so if you do dig your Xbox out, you can play them. You can sample all of them if you want to, without having to, including Like a Dragon.
Yeah.
So, which I think would probably be the one that you would like the most because it's a turn-based game.
Yeah.
But
I do love me a turn-based RPG. Speaking of that, my buddy Jacob called me the other day or texted me. He was like, "Yo, I'm level 38 in Octopath Traveler. Am I almost done?" And I was like, "No, no, you're nowhere near done."
yeah,
I was like, "What chapter are you on for your characters?" He's like, "I think I just like started chapter 3," and I'm like, "Dude, you've got like 5 more chapters for each character left."
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "You've got to be kidding me!" And I'm like, "No, that game grinds you to a pulp by the time you're done."
It's definitely like an old school Final Fantasy because I'm pretty sure you can end up with like level 99 characters by the end of it. Just like in Final Fantasy. So that if I had thousands and thousands of hours of free time, that's the game that I would be like just digging into all the time. I love that style of game.
I love Octopath Traveler. I've fallen off of that game twice now.
It's one that you can come back to though.
I fall off because by the time you get to, I'm sorry to bogart your stuff.
No, you're fine. I was done talking about you.
Okay. But by the time you get to about, I think I'm at chapter 5 for all my characters, and you're like level like 60-ish. And
there's like 8 chapters in the game too. So
yeah,
you still got like 3 more.
Yeah, but like even like the minion, like the random encounter battles, which happen so frequently. Like you can have, by the time you get to that level, every random battle you're encountering takes about 20 to 30 minutes.
Jesus.
Like I'd say about 20 minutes. Like, cause you're just like whittling each other down and whittling, and you better make sure that you have a cleric there too, because otherwise they're going to wipe you.
Yeah.
But it's a great game, but it just got too grindy for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I couldn't take it.
Like I said, that would be my jam if I weren't like super busy. And I think that's one of those, like the old school Japanese. So like when you play like old Final Fantasies now, they usually have like a speed up button, like a 3x or whatever. Mm-hmm. That's how I played through all of Final Fantasy 7. I beat it in like 40 hours, which is like pretty fast for that game. Because I was constantly using the 3x button.
Well, if you hold down B during like your animations, it does speed up all your animations and stuff. Mm-hmm. But still, even with that, it takes a long time.
I'm this close to buying the Final Fantasy remasters on Steam, and then I know I'll buy them again if they come out on Switch. But I really, really want to play those games again. I do own them all on the Game Boy Advance, so I should probably just play that version again on my DS. But I don't know, dude. I could play them on the screen right here. It'd be a lot better, but I don't know. I'm such a like I will buy every version of Final Fantasy 1 they put out. I just will. Like,
I told you I've got the NES cartridge, right?
No.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to cop that.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
It was in that box that you were looking at when you were helping me move. I was like, God,
really?
I was like, I hope he doesn't see it.
Oh no. That might have been my price to help you move.
You got free beer.
Oh yeah. That's the equivalent. Final Fantasy original cartridge, free beer. You're right. Which one would I choose?
Hey, let's take one more quick break and grab another beer.
Okay.
All right, we'll be right back with a little bit more booze and a little bit more games. Oh, God. For the audio listeners, Travis just threw up the deuces.
Yep.
All right, we'll be right back.
That was pretty good, actually. It sounded pretty real.
It was real. What are you talking about? No.
Welcome back. We are halfway or most of the way through this one. I've only got one more game left to talk about, and I haven't played a ton of it, but played a little bit of it. It is Pokemon Unite
Oh,
for the Nintendo Switch. Now,
the Pokemon noob now becomes the Pokemon United.
If you,
I don't know. We'll just
let's
go with it.
We'll workshop that. We'll come back.
Go
we'll edit it in post.
Yep.
As if you've listened to this podcast before, you know that Adam is way more of a Pokemon person than I am. I am not very experienced with Pokemon. I have dabbled, we'll say. I've experimented in college, and but I don't know.
You and Bulbasaur were just,
yeah, we did some things in the dark that we're not going to talk about, but I don't know a whole lot about
Let's just say
Pokemon.
Travis likes those vines.
Wait, Bulbasaur doesn't have vines?
Oh yeah, he does.
Does he? Oh, I was thinking Charizard. Charizard. I think he'd be more fun.
Oh boy.
Anyway,
it'd be way hotter.
Wow. Wow. That one we're not fixing in post. That's gonna stay.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the new Pokemon MOBA for the Nintendo Switch. It is a MOBA. And not only is it a MOBA, it is a MOBA-ass MOBA.
I'm gonna need to play this.
There are 2 towers at each end, except instead of towers, they are basketball hoops. Yep.
Are they Poke Centers or
no? Like, they're like these little.
Are they gyms?
Nope. You're in. I mean, I guess you could kind of call what you're playing in a gym. I don't know what gyms look like in the game, in the regular game, so I couldn't tell you. It doesn't look like a school gym, if that's what it's supposed to be.
No, they're all kind of themed, like area, like stadium type deals.
Oh, they might be gyms actually then. But the goals are not gyms. They're like little circles that you kill Pokemons, and you take their energy, and it's like a ball that you get, and you that charges your energy, and when you take the ball and dunk it in, you literally dunk it into the hole, into the hoop, it gives you points, and then it's like 150 points or something like that, and you're trying to get more energy than the other ones. And if you kill other players, the live players you're playing against, you get lots more energy for it. So and each Pokemon has like a bunch of different abilities and a bunch of different things, and you can what do you call it when they gen up? Evolve. You can evolve your Pokemon.
So you start as a base.
Yep. And every game you evolve your Pokemon, and there are some that are powerful off the rip, like Pikachu and Charizard. Like they are like good off the rip.
But Charizard is not. He's the third evolution.
Or the Charmander. They're like, because they have like projectile attacks. Not everybody has a projectile attack. Some of them have melee attacks. Some of them have no attack whatsoever.
How many Pokemon are in this thing?
I think like 30.
Okay.
It's a decent amount. And so you can buy, we'll get to the monetization stuff in a second. But there are some Pokemon that are only useful after they've been evolved. And they're like support characters, but they are super useful once they're evolved. So you basically are like, kind of like not doing that much for the first part of the game. And then it will evolve over time, and you can like unleash some powerful ass shit.
So, quick question: Are you having to start as a baseline every single match?
Yes, it's a MOBA. Yep.
Okay. Well, I don't play MOBAs, so I don't know.
Well, so MOBAs are basically like you get a full gaming experience each time out. So you always start at level 1, and you always level up within the game.
I figured you might like if I started as like a Machop and evolved him into Machamp, maybe I could just roll with a Machamp for the rest of. Yeah.
No, each match is its own contained thing, and they're capped at 10 minutes. So unlike
cool.
Yes, unlike League or Dota, which can go 45, 50 minutes, it's always 10 minutes no matter what. And you can win before that if you meet certain criteria, but most of them are going to go 10 minutes. And okay, so now we'll get if you like MOBAs, this is a very good MOBA that is kind of bite-sized and like broken down and way more accessible and digestible. If you like Pokemon, it gives you all of the trappings of a Pokemon game, and it looks really good. There is some slowdown really weirdly for some reason. I don't know why, because it doesn't look that good, but If you like Pokemon, all the characters are represented very well. The gyms or whatever you're playing in, they look really cool. They are themed, which is why when you said that, I think it makes me think that they are gyms. So there's like a jungle one, there's like a street top one, there's like I don't remember the other ones, but and then so also if you like Pokemon, you can buy the characters as you play, but they also do the League of Legends thing where like this daily Pokemon is like these 4 characters rotate. I think it's 3 characters actually rotate in the day, and they're all free today.
Okay.
And then they rotate out, and you can grind currency, and I think you can buy them with that in-game currency, but you can also just buy them outright.
Yeah. This game is about to make so much flipping money, dude.
But here's the problem: is that you get these items that help you evolve faster or do like do extra damage, things like that. They give you boosts basically in the game, and you earn them, but you can evolve them with real money.
Oof.
You can like level up the items.
Yeah,
and it makes them very powerful.
That sucks really bad.
It does suck.
That's some classic.
So if you're playing against like apparently in the Chinese market, this is what I was reading about. They don't care about like how they don't care about spending money like that. Like that to them, it's just like, oh yeah, I want to be good at this game. I can spend money to be better. That's what I was reading about. Their market is very different from ours, where ours is like, no pay to win. They're like, whatever, I'm going to pay and I can be better than everybody else. So I think that's what this game is like, because MOBAs are very popular in China. So I think that's what this game is geared towards. I wonder if they're going to change the monetization, because the biggest criticisms I've read have been about the monetization.
They're not going to change that, dude. It's Nintendo. Once they make their mind up, that's the way it is.
It's actually not Nintendo. Nintendo did not develop this game.
No, it's not
Niantic. It's like the Pokemon Company, and then I don't remember the actual developer's name, but it's published by I couldn't tell you right now, but it's not. Nintendo owns like a third of the Pokemon Company, so they're still making money off of it. But I don't remember who the actual publisher is, but it's not, surprisingly, not Nintendo.
Published by the Pokemon Company.
Okay, so there you go.
Developed by Timi.
So they
TIMI Studio Group, and published by the Pokemon Company for Android and iOS, and by Nintendo. It's published by Nintendo for the Switch.
Oh, is it published on Nintendo for the Switch? Well, they didn't develop. I know that their team didn't develop it, but
no, it's Timi.
Timi, I think they did something else before this that was like kind of popular. So they know what they're doing with this kind of thing. But I suspect that they won't change the monetization. But I do think that they'll maybe lower the ability to get some of those pay-to-win items evolved and like make it a little more balanced.
Okay.
But it's super fun. Like, it's very fun. I'm surprised at how much fun I had with it. And it's free.
MOBA on the Switch, I feel like, is something that's been needed for a while.
Yeah. I'm sure there's other MOBAs.
Yeah, but like one that's going to have some brand value behind it.
Yeah. And this is perfect for, you can only play online. So kind of on the go, it's not super viable, but if you're like hanging out at your girlfriend's apartment or something, you want to get a quick game of MOBA, and like it's one of those that's pretty fun for that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But that's basically what I've been playing. Check out Pokemon Unite if you are into MOBAs and you want to play one on the Switch for free. And now let's get into the news. There's not a lot this week because, like we talked about earlier, we're in the post E3 doldrums. And the biggest thing that has happened is this Activision Blizzard lawsuit, kerfuffle.
Kerfuffle.
So if you haven't been, I'm sure most people, if you're into games, have heard about this by now. Blizzard has been accused of some pretty gnarly shit, accusations of sexual harassment and, pay not being even between men and women. Women being ousted, and this seems
like a pretty bro-ass place.
Yeah, basically frat boy culture as in a development studio, which, if you know anything about Blizzard, they are an old company. It does not surprise me that they have this kind of culture. What does surprise me is that they've allowed it to go on for this long. And we should say, this is not a like frivolous lawsuit being brought by like people that work there or like disgruntled ex-employees. This is a lawsuit brought on by the state of California.
Yeah,
it is a real it is a real deal thing. They wouldn't just do this for like clout.
There's obviously some serious stuff going on over there that
Right.
if the state feels like they directly need to be involved with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff that's happened, including like a girl who apparently was driven to like commit suicide because she was so terribly treated, and there's people that have been like uh, let go for speaking out against this kind of stuff. There's a lot of stuff in there. You can read the entire lawsuit on the state of California's website, and there's also this been republished on like Polygon and Kotaku. Um, Look into it if you're interested in that stuff. I don't think that I'm qualified to speak on a whole lot of this stuff, but it is something that is basically what we're going through right now is a kind of a reckoning in our industry, in this industry.
Yeah, we've been in it for a while now.
I mean, I guess we're kind of in
a
it
whole
now,
like 2.5 months.
But we've been following it for our entire lives.
Very true. And I honestly I really hate to see a story like this, but I am glad that it's being talked about and that it's being brought out into the open. But you hate to see something that it's really hard to reckon the games that I love playing,
right,
and the terrible things that have gone on at the company that created those games.
Yeah, the stuff that goes on behind the scenes, you don't want to. It's almost like you want to turn a blind eye to it because you just don't want to.
Yeah, but you can't. You can't at this point.
No.
Like you really can't. You have to kind of
address it head on.
Yeah, and so like we said, we are very not qualified to talk about this just because I don't know hardly anything about this story. I've just seen some headlines. But I do know that since like the Me Too movement and with like everybody kind of recognizing these problems that we've had as a culture and society, a lot of industries, not just gaming, have had to have a big look in the mirror.
Step back moment. Yeah. I think here's what I honestly think. I think this unfortunately goes on in every industry, and that because of the way that journalism works in this industry, it gets highlighted more. There are more people digging into this kind of thing. Because like you have to imagine if this was a Wall Street, investment firm, that stuff is almost 100% going on there, right? But no one in that industry is going to be researching this kind of story like they would in the gaming industry. There's like a level of like care that a lot of the journalists in the gaming industry have, that they want to find this kind of stuff out.
Yeah. Did you see that whole? I'm sure you did because you actually do work in the beer industry. Like a month or two ago, a girl on Instagram posted about sexual harassment and how there's not enough women brewers and all this stuff, and then like she started getting messages from all these girls that worked in the beer industry and just these horrible things that happened to them, and then that blew up, and then it's like now the beer industry also has this situation going on.
We talked about that a little bit at our place of business. I mean, I can tell you from my own company, who I won't name, but we have one female rep, sales rep.
That's crazy.
Out of a ton of I mean, like it is what it is. Like it's an old school, like an old boys club almost. And it is one of those things where you want to see change, but the only way that you get change is by like confronting this stuff head on. And I think that the gaming industry is kind of going through the same thing, where it's pretty apparent that there's some rotten ass shit going on and has been going on for a long time. And if people want to keep their job, they can't really talk about it. So it takes something like, because most people like here's what it is. Like you and I are the same way. Like if we had the chance to work in the gaming industry, we would probably put up with a lot of shit to get there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
100%.
And these people are the same way. Like they care so much about this industry. They care so much about making games that they put up with a lot of stuff just to be able to do it. And I think like that kind of culture is one that is more forgiving of that kind of stuff, right? Like or not even forgiving, but like they don't want to step on toes. They don't want to get called out for stuff, right?
Yeah.
And they don't want to lose their job, like their dream job, And so it takes something like the state of California suing them in order to affect any kind of change. And it's kind of long overdue. But I hope that this, turns out for the better. I hope it helps.
Yep. Let's cheers to hoping that, sexual harassment in the workplace can get fixed and that people stop being jerks.
Yeah, don't be jerks. That's a simple.
Yeah, it's really that simple. You don't be an asshole. Yep. But it's also so much more complicated than that, and so I think we should probably move on. Yeah, just because it's hard to talk about that stuff, even though I know it's horrible, but I just feel like I'm not qualified. I'm a freaking white guy, so I just need to shut up. All right, Halo Infinite. The last thing we'll talk about on a lighter note, Halo Infinite had a multiplayer beta. I don't have my Xbox hooked up right now, so I obviously didn't jump in it, and I know Travis didn't either, but I did watch quite a bit of people streaming it, and I watched reviewers talk about it. Mm-hmm. It looks awesome. It looks awesome. Like, I am super excited to play that game.
I immediately got like flashbacks to 2002, being in like, being young and like having like Halo LAN parties and all that kind of stuff. Like it looks like that, but like way more polished and way more options. And it looks super smooth and fluid.
Did you see the animation for the gravity hammer?
Where the bodies go flying.
Like just the swinging animation of it. It's like it used to kind of just be like a wah, but now it's like he like grabs it, like brings it together, just like boom. Oh, looks so good.
They've also added like these extreme ragdoll physics. I don't know if you've seen this, but like the bodies just go flying now.
They did that before. They did that back in the day too with the gravity hammer.
But not like this. It's not just the gravity hammer though. It's like when you die, you like fly back and go.
Yeah, I mean,
there's just bodies like flying
crazy.
everywhere.
I know. I can't wait to play it.
It looks super cool. They've also done a lot with the customization, it looks like, of your like character and like stuff like that. Like, and the best thing about like Halo 3 was like the Forge, where you could like make custom game maps and types and stuff like that, custom game modes. I feel like they're definitely going to bring that kind of stuff back. But what this does is it shows that the gameplay itself is going to be classic Halo with like a fresh coat of paint on it that makes it new and modern.
That grapple looked awesome.
Yeah, the grapple looks so good. The movement, it's not fast as like an Apex or Call of Duty.
No, but all I saw, I didn't see anybody actually using the grapple to move. I only saw people using the grapple to pull themselves. Just boom!
And it does still have like the one-hit melee stuff, which is essential to Halo to me. Like, I think that's 100% essential to the way that you want to play that game.
A one-punch kill game?
No, I guess with the sword thing, it is.
Oh yeah, with the sword for sure.
I think with the head, I think it's like 2 punches maybe at the most, but it's definitely like you do a lot of damage with melee.
Oh yeah.
I think Call of Duty was like one-hit melee back in the day.
Yeah, that was brutal. That was brutal. In Call of Duty, you would have people running around, man, like
knives only,
just with a knife, just working whole teams.
Yep.
Do you remember in Black Ops the what was it called, like the ballistic knife?
Yeah, where you could like throw it.
No, it's like you run around, you got it, and then you like press a button on the back of it, and it like shot out.
Oh no, I don't remember that at all.
One shot.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that was in the original Black Ops, I think.
I did play a lot of Black Ops 1. That
was probably my favorite Call of Duty ever.
I think Modern Warfare is my favorite, but that was my favorite of the Black Ops series.
My favorite multiplayer, I'll say, is Call of Duty Black Ops.
Because it had all the cool spy toys and like I think that was the one that had the RC cars for the first time.
Oh yeah. They had all the little tunnels you could like.
Yeah, that was super fun.
Yeah,
that campaign was really, really good too.
Yeah,
like the spy stuff back and forth.
Yeah,
with,
I think that was
the number station.
My favorite Call of Duty. Yeah, the number stations.
Really cool. I would like to see a remake of that game, like because they've remastered Modern Warfare 1 and 2 now. They should give us Black Ops.
Black Ops was back when I thought mental health awareness. At this point, that was back when I thought I was going schizophrenic for a little bit. There was a number station thing going on, and I was like, am I going crazy? Mason?
In the game?
I actually thought that I was going schizophrenic.
Because of the game?
No, not because of the game. But then I played it.
But you were having the same thing.
Oh I was having like...
You saw it on there and you were like, oh, that's what I'm going through.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good times.
Diagnosing yourself with Call of Duty. I mean, hey, at least you got some kind of idea of what was going on. But yeah, the Halo beta looks great. It makes me. I went from like not giving a shit about the new Halo at all to like, okay, I'm definitely gonna play this game now.
And the multiplayer is going to be free no matter what, even if you don't have Game Pass.
Yep. Which is going to be gigantic. I cannot overstate how big that's going to make this game. It is going to be huge.
Yeah.
Because of that. Like who that's ever played a Halo game in their life is not going to at least download this and see what it's all about.
Yeah.
Like everybody's going to try it.
And everybody that played Halo at least played the multiplayer. Like you might not have played the campaign.
You might not have ever touched the campaign, but you definitely played the multiplayer.
Yeah.
Red versus blue.
And I think they're putting Blood Gulch back in there too.
I feel like I saw something about Blood Gulch and a bunch of other classic maps, but I feel like they do that in every new Halo game. Like there's always a Blood Gulch. There's always a I forgot what the other one was, but
that's the main one I remember. There's
the Blood Gulch is like the flag, the capture the flag, like favorite.
Yeah, can't wait. It comes out when?
December.
December.
I don't think they have it was supposed to come out last December. I don't think they've done a new release date yet, but it's definitely 2021. I don't think that they've said whether it's coming out in like November or December.
It just says 2021.
Yeah, I imagine it's probably going to come out in November. If I had to put money on it, but I could also see it slipping to December and
either way, I mean, dude, it's been delayed so many times.
What I think they would want to
do I know is 2021. Like they cannot go past 2021. I don't
think they will. If they're releasing this beta now, like they've got some confidence it's going to release this year.
Yeah.
And I also think that you want to get out in November so the hype train gets up. So when people are buying consoles for Christmas,
even if all they do is release the multiplayer.
That's also
they could release just the multiplayer and then wait until they're ready for the campaign.
I could 100% see that because you can update the multiplayer at all times. Like you can just keep it going. You could actually just release the beta, like a early access version in 2021 and just have people playing it all the time and then constantly updating it. And then they're like, oh, we went 1.0 because we added the campaign to it. I could definitely see that. But I think either way, you want to get it out there in time for Christmas. Because when people are like, I want this for Christmas, you have to buy me the Xbox One or the Xbox Series X. And that doesn't happen unless you have Halo out before that.
Dude, I am about to play the mess out of that multiplayer. It might, I'm not going to say it'll take over Apex, but
it might take over Apex for a little while.
It's going to, I think, at least for a little bit. But what do you say we call that a night?
I think that's good. Yeah.
All right.
This has been a good one.
I think so. Another good one in the books.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We hope that we have entertained you and told you about some booze and some games that you might want to check out. We will be back shortly with a new fresh episode. Tell us if you like this shorter format, because this is definitely a shorter episode than we're used to. If people like it, we might try to start cutting it down some.
Yep. Oh, on another note, a little bit of housekeeping for me. I'm moving again. I just got a phone call from one of my best friends who is a dentist in Charleston, South Carolina. And he knew that I'm kind of doing
a Renaissance man.
I'm kind of living my life right now because I'm selling my house and that's going really well. And so I'm kind of just chilling, doing whatever I want at the moment. And he's like, dude, come work for me. I need some help. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to be going to Charleston starting this weekend, which I love that city more than just about any other city on the planet. So I'm really excited to be heading down there in about 5 days. 5 days, and then I'll be starting a new chapter next week. Another new chapter. So here we go, guys. Let's see where I'm recording from next week.
Yeah, it's exciting times. Times.
Yeah, doing me, man.
Yeah. And this will give you an opportunity to dig out that Xbox because you got to take some stuff down with you to Charleston. So.
Yeah, I'll be digging out the PlayStation, digging out the Xbox, all that good stuff.
Yep.
So, anyways, continue, good sir.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty much it. We're wrapping it up.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. We hope that you've enjoyed this episode. We hope that you stick around next week, and we will see you later. Here's to you. Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye, everybody.
the place.